Okay. Hello, I'm Waldo Sweepo, and I just finished filming the first the beginner PJJ guide. So if you haven't watched that, go watch that, man. So what I'm gonna show you right is the second guide. How to find your playstyle, what each item does, and also yeah, I forgot to talk about Italy, so my bad. And what each subfusion does and different mechanics. So I'm gonna explain Italy first, right? It's a place that you can access by clicking on that train behind Gyro. So you head to this place, and basically, there are gonna be four items that spawns there that you're gonna want, or three depending. So first, it's a vacuum arrow. Vacuum arrow can either give you a boost, 10% boost, a stand, a like a quite a western actually. It's not that hard to get tier 8s with vacuums, or to evolve stands like silver chariot to silver chariot vacuum. So what you're gonna do, right? So that's the first item. Oh my god. So the first item is a vacuum. It's gonna You're gonna find them on the ground. Second, Aja Mask. What Aja Mask does, right, is it can either evolve cars into ultimate life form, or it can give this ultimate sub spec. I didn't really mention about the layers of sub specs you can have, but I'll get right into that. And Aja Stone. It's to basic If you have base Harmon, right, you can get base Harmon by talking to William Zeppeli. You will get Joseph Harmon. Yeah. Or it can be used to craft Aja mask if you talk to Jotaro, who's behind this school over here, with one Aja stone and one vampire mask. But yeah, vampire mask can be found on the ground every 10 minutes with a chance, or you can just generate them by asking a cows. So Italy, the main thing you're gonna be wondering right for, I don't suggest fun neat things to also look out for. But the main reason why people head to Italy is Diavolo. He spawns every Mizak. He spawns every 15 minutes, right? But since it's times two spawns right now, you should play when it's times two spawns. Everything spawns twice as often, so it's cut in half technically. And he has a 1 out of 3 to drop a vacuum. I will explain what vacuum does. 1 out of 1 chance to drop a corpse part. Primarily the right eye. Don't abbreviate this, please. What right eye does, right, is you can either randomly reroll your traits. Traits are quite important to a stand because they're just extra stats depending on the stand. And you should always go for godly. I explained it in the video. And it can give you a random blessing, so it's just random. It's basically a poor man's rebirth diary because it gives you random. So yeah, and 1 out of 9 to get a spine. So basically, what the spine does, right, is you can basically, I have a spine right here. I can show. You can choose any trait you want of all of this. Obviously, you should be choosing godly, right? But yeah, it's a good way to farm for godly because you saw how many traits there are. It's gonna be quite difficult to try to roll randomly for godly when the odds are like that. So that's Italy, right? Now I'm gonna discuss. Okay, you gotta follow me through here, right? I'm gonna discuss about the layers of substance. It's like a yeah. So let's take this for example. So this is layer one. Layer one can either be I'm gonna put this one. Layer one can either be ultimate. Ultimate is just stat boost, and depending on the sub spec you put, right, it gives us unique buff. You can find out more of this info in the Trello here, the main Trello. I'll link both of these down in the description on both videos. Or blessing. These two are mutually exclusive, right? So you can either have a blessing or ultimate. For PvP, I highly suggest blessing. Even for PvE, blessing is always just better because it gives, depending on the blessing, it's way more unique compared to ultimate, which is just a stat boost, and it can make or break a fusion. So, and then here you have layer 2. So this is basically the subspec. For example, rock or spin or vampire or harmon, right? And okay, this is layer 3, which is the subspec, like subfusion. It's basically the I explained fusion in the first video. It's basically the first fusion. I mean, it's basically fuck me. It's basically the sub fusion, the thing you put in the yellow square, your sub ability. Depending on what sub you have, it gives you different abilities. And this is the base 10. I'm gonna just down diver down. So yeah, that's how fusion names work. So if you hear something like Emperor Platinum Prime, so it's basically Star Platinum Prime base and Emperor sub to make that fusion, by the way. And you have layer 4. Layer 4 is always Requiem, and every stand can have layer 4. So these are the 4 layers of fusion. I hope you got that down. So what I'm going to discuss about you is sub passives. I like to okay, so I'm just gonna call them subs. I like to split them into 2. One, condition based, so and 2, proc based. Proc, just read it up. It was from okay, yeah, Reddit, help me out. Programmed random occurrence. So I'm gonna discuss proc, right? So for proc stands, for example, harvest, right? It basically works by, let's say you do any form of damage, right? Depending on the damage you do and how much health the target has, there will be a chance for an effect, let's say harvest the sub effect, to occur. So a lot of stands are proc based, right? For example, I just showed you harvest sub, dark blue moon sub, but the most popular ones would be, let me think. Most popular ones would be let's see here. Cream Over Heaven, White Album. Let's say, yeah, those 2 are quite common. Same with White Wedding, but you don't use White Wedding for its proc most of the time. Oh yeah, a sub can have 2 of these, by the way. Each of these are not like, exclusive, and they can also come with a U ability. It's basically, it picks a specific move from the base 10 of the sub, right? And you basically get to use it, like Atom Heart Father. It gives you Photo Flight. So condition based, right? They're always active. Okay, so yeah, they're always active, and you just need to do certain things in order to activate it. Like for example, Cream Sub is always active, but you have to be close for it to activate. Or get out of here. Or Star Platinum Prime, always having strong punches, right? But it only applies to melee. Yeah, over here, strong melee. It only applies to melee moves, not projectiles. So they're basically conditions. Most quite common condition based stats would be gold experience, rolling stones. I'm running out. I low key forgot. But yeah, and Chariot Requiem, not Silver Chariot. So yeah, some of these stands just don't have passives at all. They just have moves. But that doesn't mean that they are worse than the aforementioned subs I just mentioned, the ones with passives. Some moves, like some subs, the moves are just too great. Even if they're just one move, right, it's still gonna be a really good fusion. Okay, I'm gonna explain some like mechanics and text that, or like terminology that should be important. So, oh yeah, I should be talking. Okay, we're getting more advanced now. Actually, no, that would be for another video. Have fun. I don't want to stretch shit out. Okay.